Okay. Hello, my name is John Mason. I'm with Masters of the Journey and the main facilitator up in Bellingham, Washington. And tonight we're doing some interviews, and we're going to be interviewing Michael in just a moment about how guidance created a very interesting experience, a very dramatic shift in his life and career, by the way. Without saying anything more, I'm going to invite Michael to speak. And as you can see, he's backlit because he's got all kinds of spiritual angels behind him. Anyhow,
we'll duck down a little bit.
it's either that or a lighting issue. Michael, yeah. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on, John.
I'm really glad that you're here, and I'm really excited to find out not only what happened for you, but the feelings that went along with it and what you felt like you got from the experience that guidance seemed to lead you into. So you've got the floor. Let's hear your story.
For sure. Yeah, to be honest, John, I'd say 2.5 years have been very interesting as far as guidance is concerned. I myself and my partner at the time have been going very deep into very different types of spiritual practices. And through that, I have had visions, dreams, meditations, what have you. And I have seen my life at different points in these visions. And it's so vivid and so my gut and my soul and just the feeling in my veins says, I should go do that. And there was a night in 2016, it was November 20th, it was right before Thanksgiving, November 20th, 2016. I was building a van to move to Los Angeles, and I had no idea why I was doing this other than I had this vision, and I my life down in Los Angeles, and I was meeting these people. I was building a business of some sort. I didn't really know what. It looked similar to what I was doing, but my life just looked awesome. I looked happy. I looked very confident. It just had a good feeling. It resonated very well when I saw that vision. And so I was in the middle of this van build project as we're heading to LA, not knowing why we're heading to LA. I've never been to LA in my life, and I knew it was expensive. I knew, there's a lot of business going on. I knew that this vision that I had, I would be meeting a lot of business people. I would be really taking myself out of my comfort zone. Mm-hmm. And so November 20th, wake up about 3 a.m. I'm sleeping in the van. This idea hit, and I'm like, what in the world is this? And for the last, I'd say, year, I've been asking myself constantly, almost daily, weekly, I say, how can I help people more doing what I know and what I do? Just kept asking that, subconsciously, consciously. And then November 20th, I wake up, this idea hits me. For the next 2 days, I write it down. And after these 2 days, I'm like, I don't even know if this is valid or if it's possible or whatever. And so I think I have my reason to move to LA at this point, basically. And so we get done building our van, because we're going to be living out of our 20-foot camper van for who knows how long in a city we've never been, and we're not going to be living in an apartment. And so we sell everything we own. We pack whatever we have into our van and car. We drive down the coast. We end up in LA a couple days before Christmas, November in 2016, and we are hanging out on the beach, basically. And then right after New Year's, I start going out and networking and meeting these people. And the first week, I'm up in Union Bank. I'm up in the Union Bank Tower in downtown LA. I'm up on the 43rd floor meeting with Union Bank, and I am looking out the window overlooking LA, and I'm in a boardroom, and it hits, and I'm like, whoa, I've seen this, I've felt this. This is the vision. Like, this is part of what I've seen. And so I whip around to, engage the meeting. and I light up, and the meeting goes very smoothly. It's bliss. And I leave that meeting, and that starts a series of meetings for 9.5 months. And I'm meeting professional bankers and investors and funding partners and mortgage companies, real estate firms. And so for the 9.5 months, I'm down there, and I'm meeting these people living this vision, basically. But lo and behold, every day I'm sneaking back into my 20-foot camper van with my one suit, my 3 or 4 dress suit shirts, and I wake up at the crack of dawn every day. We move the van so we're not going to get a parking ticket in front of someone's house or get the cops called on us. And then I would basically go to meetings for the next 8 hours and, fake it until I make it. And that's kind of what I did for 10 months. And I, every day, met with people and called people I never thought I would have the confidence or the reason to touch base with them. And that's what I did every single day. I took myself out of these comfort zones because I was trying to move towards this vision that I had seen. And I was trying to create a life or get to this because it looked amazing. And it looked very comforting. It looked very secure and fun. And so after those 9.5 months, 10 months, I start looking for jobs because during that 10 months, I'm not working, I'm networking, I'm building this network. And basically my business dies and I start losing money and my bills start going up through the roof. And I'm like, uh-oh, this is bad. And basically I come into the worst financial place of my life at 30 years old, about 31. I'm about to have my 31st birthday. And I'm in the worst financial spot considerably even after college. I have more debt and it's bad. I'm living in my camper van, my wife and I, and we're traveling LA. And so all of this basically comes to an end one weekend. And I have this vision where I'm looking at jobs and I then go, I've been applying at jobs in LA for months, not getting any calls, any hits. I feel like I have a very great resume. I've done a lot of business in the past. I'm like, why am I not getting any jobs? Like, what the heck? One night, I change my approach and I apply back in Bellingham for 7 jobs. Saturday morning, 4 of those companies had responded and said, we'd love to interview you. When can you come back to Bellingham and meet? And basically I packed up everything, put it back in the van, and we drove back to Bellingham in 4 days. And then I started interviewing and I, very slowly got back into work and started rebuilding myself. It's January 18th. It's been 4.5 months since I've been home. I now have a job. I'm now actively building that network. And as of last Saturday, I've been able to really put a lot of energy into this. And the vision is, I'm living in it now. I'm creating it every day. And it's a very interesting feeling. I'm like tingling. It's amazing. So that's my story.
Your story with guidance is packed with drama. And so the question I'm going to ask you is, because this has happened for me in my life, you follow guidance. It takes you on a very interesting direction. It's not always successful, but I want to ask you the prime question: was this worth it? Was this a turn that has created value for you and your career and your life?
I left out 90% of the hardship in that story. I just touched base on the positivity there. Uh, I can't believe what I've went through to get to this point today. But yeah, I wouldn't exchange the sciatic nerve event that I went through. My bank account being where it's I don't care. Today is what matters, and that's invaluable.
Yeah, and so the beauty of the story that you're telling us is that your gut, or whatever the feeling of guidance was that told you to go, it led you to an experience that was very important, and it wasn't fun, and it wasn't easy, and it wasn't joyful, but
No.
it may be creating a foundation for your entire rest of your life. I mean, you've learned some stuff about yourself. You've been tested by fire.
Oh, I've grown just a little bit. Just
Yeah,
I,
yeah.
those 9 months are like 9 years.
Would, if guidance pops up in your mind, like say last weekend, you're talking with somebody on the phone and you totally change your direction, would you pay attention to guidance and follow it?
That actually happened, and yeah, that's part of this vision. Is this last Saturday? And I'm talking to my buddy in the Czech Republic. He's 9 hours ahead. Noon my time. It's 9 o'clock his time. We're bullshitting about my business network idea. This thing a million different angles, and I'm like, how do I monetize it, and how do I do that? I have the nuts and bolts. I needed one sentence from someone's mouth, and my buddy Zach saves the day, saves the year, is gonna get that business started. I owe that business to Zach right now.
Well,
So
we're gonna
start
check
this thing.
we're gonna check back with you, and we're going to end this part of the interview right now, Michael James, and I really appreciate it. But we're going to check back and find out whether the new direction that you're going in gives you all of you that you want. And I really appreciate you coming on and sharing your vision with us. And I know that you're going to be back and doing some more interviews with us. So thanks very much for this time.
Thank you, John. I really loved the experience with you guys.
Yeah, great. Thanks again.